Well, right when we think Disney Channel is on the brink of destruction, has completely ran out of ideas, this show comes along to revitalize all faith and hope into the network as a whole.
I'm ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow starts today. There ain't no map to follow, but I'm with you all the way.
Hey guys, here in my review for a show that I really had no intention of reviewing, honestly. I heard about this show and I figured that I would check it out. And that is for the series premiere of the new Disney Channel show that's actually replacing Girl Meets World, that being Andi Mack. Now, let's get into the show because, as I said, back when Girl Meets World ended, that I was pretty much done with the network. I mean, I was really pissed about it, and I'm not gonna lie, maybe I overreacted a bit. I mean, Girl Meets World really was the only show that Disney really had that was somewhat intelligent and wasn't completely just gag after gag and ridiculous, just unwatchable stuff and repetitive shows. That's what most of Disney Channel has become. That's why most people have steered away from their network. That's what most people say, that most kids shows are just kind of going to shit, because Nickelodeon kind of has, Cartoon Network has, and so is Disney Channel. And at this point, after Girl Meets World was done, I really thought Disney Channel was done for. I said the only other show that's going to revitalize, hope in them is That's So Raven. However, this show did come along, and I really had no intention of reviewing this, but I did see that people were reviewing the show, and I checked out a few reviewers that reviewed Girl Meets World before that were reviewing the show, and I actually did find out about the big twist in the show. And after watching this first episode, I stand corrected, because this is exactly the show that Disney Channel needs. This show is not only the most mature show that Disney has really ever done, but it's a show that they really shouldn't be able to do, and I'll get into why, which I'll get into spoilers a little bit later, which I'm definitely going to get into spoilers in this first episode because I kind of have to. But let's get to the plot of Andi Mack, because very simply, without spoilers, I'm going to get into spoilers in a little bit, but without spoilers, so if you guys haven't seen the first episode, you're still fine. The basic plot of the show: Andi Mack is a 13-year-old girl. She's just about to turn 13. She's a bit of a tomboy. She has a seemingly normal life with normal parents, but she also has this sister who has seemingly just turned up, and she's, estranged and everything, and she doesn't know where she's come from, and there's a lot of secrets between her and her sister, and one secret pretty much changes the entire course of her life, and that's really all I'm gonna say. But let's just get into the show, starting off with the cast. And that's one of the things I was very happy with this show, is that this is the first show on Disney Channel in a while to not have a cast that is the most good-looking, the most amazing lives, ever. That's not what this cast is at all. It very much reminds me of old Disney Channel sitcoms where you have just a normal family. None of these actors, I think, are that well known. None of these actors have really done anything that great, but they all really did impress me, especially Peyton Elizabeth Lee as Andi Mack. She was incredible in this show. I loved her in this first episode. Andi Mack she exudes so much confidence. She exudes so much positivity, and like I said, she's very much a tomboy. She's into scooters and, playing different sports and things like that. That's really what she's into. But she's not perfect, and that's something I love about her character. She's not at all perfect. She makes a lot of mistakes. She doesn't really know how to talk to guys, things like that. She doesn't really know how to be vocal about things, and I really did like that about her character. She was definitely really well done. I really thought that she did an incredible job in this show. I loved what she had to do here, and especially once we get to that big reveal, she just handled it perfectly. I can very much see her becoming the next star. She's definitely someone to look out for, and she really was incredible here. I love what she had to do here. And then as far as the other characters in the show, I think that her two friends, Joshua Rush and Sophia Wiley as Cyrus and Buffy, were both very well casted. I like the bond that these three have. We don't find out a ton about Cyrus and Buffy in this first episode, but I like their characters overall. I like that Buffy is named after Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and now she's actually watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I thought that was actually pretty funny thing they did for her. I definitely thought it was definitely a lot of fun to watch. I really did like these three characters, and I thought overall those three definitely did work very well together. However, obviously, the one character we have talked about in the show is Lillian Bowden as Bex, who, like I said, she entered the show and she seems like, she's the sister who's very rebellious and has a lot of secrets and very different than the norm for Disney Channel. Most times you have the sister who's very aware of herself and has a lot of agency and has a whole future ahead of her and has been very successful, but that's not what this character is. This character, Andi hasn't seen her in pretty much her entire life. She has no, she just turned up out of the blue. She's had boyfriend after boyfriend. There's this box of secrets she's keeping from her, and there's one really big secret that, like I said, I will get into when we get to the writing and things like that, but she really was incredible here. I love what she do. I love the bonding between her and Andi. The way these two really do try to help themselves out, with Bex trying to make Andi become a more confident person and get her to talk to this guy that she likes. I thought that was definitely really well done. But also Andi trying to, get Bex to, come, to reveal some secrets to her and just to come clean about things. I thought their bond was definitely very well done. It's definitely the highlight of this show, and I think those two definitely worked very well together. And then Lauren Thomas, Celia, who is Andi's supposed mother. I'll say supposed in a second. I'll say why in a second, but she also was fantastic here. I love what she had to do. I thought she had some really fun one-liners, but it wasn't too over the top. Like I said, very restrained with the humor, and I thought she definitely was really good. Really, the whole cast here really did do a great job. I don't really think anyone here was badly casted, and that's really what I have to say about the acting. However, this is a show that I possibly can't talk about without spoilers. I just can't do that. So now, guys, if you haven't seen Andi Mack, go away right now because I'm going to get into it. I want to talk about everything that happened in this show. So I just have to get into it. So, okay. The creator of the show, as you guys know, is Terry Minsky. And what other show is Terry Minsky very famous for? Well, that would be Lizzie McGuire. And that show is very similar to Andi Mack because this show doesn't have a laugh track. It doesn't have those over-the-top moments. In fact, I think it's a little bit more restrained than Lizzie McGuire was. Lizzie McGuire was a very slice-of-life kind of show. Very much so. I mean, that was a show where, you had a lot of just her dealing with the average high school girl problems. And, Lizzie McGuire was a good show. I've definitely seen a couple episodes of it, but this is completely different than what Terry Minsky has tackled here, because with Terry Minsky, the kind of show she's trying to write is very not Disney, because of course, now when we get into the writing, which you guys still hear, go away, because I'm going to spoil something huge. As we find out, in this first episode, it's revealed about 14 minutes in, halfway through the episode, that the big secret that Bex is keeping from Andi isn't just what's in the box, it's actually about Bex's relationship to Andi, because we find out that there's all these pictures that Bex has with her boyfriends, and there's one of her with Andi, and we see it's actually Andi in a hospital with Bex, around her, and we find out that Bex is actually not her sister, but her mother. So yeah, this show is openly addressing teen pregnancy, and it's shedding some light on it in a way that I really haven't seen Disney Channel do before, and I'm honestly very surprised that they were able to do that. But according to Terry Minsky, she also was terrified this wouldn't work out. She also was terrified this wouldn't actually be a thing. But Disney Channel just let her do whatever because they were looking for something different. And I genuinely feel like Disney Channel knows that they're kind of running out of ideas, so they're trying to do something way different, and this is exactly the kind of show that they need. Because yeah, it is a big reveal, but it doesn't permeate the entire show. It permeates Andi Mack as a character. This show isn't just about, oh, who's the father, or teen pregnancy is bad. That's not what this show is trying to do. It's not just trying to teach life lessons. It's more gonna try to, it's more reshaping Andi as a character, and the reaction that she has to this, and the way that she is going to go about herself is a lot different now. I mean, it's completely changed her entire life with Bex, and that whole thing with her and her mother, now knowing that Bex is actually her mother now, that's gonna change a lot of stuff, and I can't wait to see really where we're gonna go with that. But what I also really love is that they're also focusing, on all aspects here. They're not just, focusing on Andi, they're really going in all, through all different kinds of aspects they could go with the show. They're definitely doing that, and I love the way they show, for example, with Celia, how Celia didn't want to tell Andi because she didn't feel she was ready. She didn't want to tell Andi because she didn't want to lose having that pretend daughter, having that daughter that she could feel, sheltered by, because you clearly do get the sense that Celia did not have control of Bex, that Bex was just kind of a wild partier, that she kind of just let her do whatever, and I feel like Celia did this, was with Andi because she wanted to make up for that. She wanted to be able to have a daughter that she could trust and that she could, feel like was her own and that she could feel like she could actually, manage very well. And I really did love where they took Celia, and I can't wait to see where they're going to take her throughout the rest of the show. There's a lot of places they can go with that. And then the ending, with Bex and Celia, Bex saying that, she knows that she didn't want to tell her, but she's going to try to do a good job with her daughter. I really love the way that stuff was done. I think it was incredibly well done overall. And I think this show, again, feels very restrained. It's different than other Disney Channel shows because it doesn't have those over-the-top wacky moments, because there's no laugh track in this show. So it feels very real in that regard in a way that other Disney Channel shows don't. Even a subplot with Andy's love interest Cyrus isn't too over-the-top, Jonah Beck isn't too over-the-top, which I was very surprised about. I thought that they were going to go, really over-the-top with this, and then we're going to hear the romantic love music and things like that, but they really didn't do that. They just showed that Andy likes this girl Jonah, he likes this guy Jonah, who she clearly does have feelings for, but she really isn't willing to, put herself out there. But she is willing to call out Jonah's girlfriend, which I love that scene where she called out Jonah's girlfriend and said all that stuff to her. I thought it was definitely, with the Amber Alert and things like that, I thought that was definitely very well done. This show is funny, but like I said, it is very restrained in a way that other Disney Channel shows aren't. I think it's very well done in that regard, and like I said, because that's it's exactly the kind of show that Disney Channel needs, and I can't wait to see really where that whole story is going to go. So overall, guys, I was extremely impressed by the first episode of Andi Mack. I think it's an incredible show. It's everything that Disney Channel needs right now. It's everything that I've wanted a Disney Channel show for a very long time, and it really is something where I think this is going to be the game-changing show for Disney Channel. I could really see a lot of shows going in this direction where they're going to tackle more serious topics, which Michael Jacobs was willing to do. For some reason, Disney Channel didn't let him, but the one thing that makes me so surprised about the show is that it's not a show that's from like Canada or something, because a lot of these shows that Disney Channel Nickelodeon does, they're from Canada or they're from like England, and now they're being transferred over to America, and that's why they're so much different. But that's not what the show is. It's completely wholly original. It's different than anything Disney Channel's ever done before. It's exactly the kind of show that they need right now. It makes me really have more faith in them as a network, and there's so many places they can go with the show. And the other thing that really surprised me, that the show is taking on a serialized format. What Disney Channel show that's done that? There really have not been many, but this show is doing that. It's going to be more serialized. It's going to be more self-contained. It's going to be more focusing on a story. It's not just focusing on, a 30-minute slice of life every week, which I think it will still, but it's different in that regard. So it's a dramedy rather than a comedy, and I don't think there's many Disney Channel shows that do that quite in the way the show is done. Nothing about it really feels like a Disney Channel show, and is completely for a good reason. I can't wait to see where the rest of the show is going to go. I'm not going to review every episode to you guys from here on out, but I definitely looking forward to seeing where the rest of the show is going to go. My only real complaint, if I really had to have one, is that we really didn't get to see a ton of Cyrus and Buffy as characters. We really didn't get too much into them. But there really wasn't much else to complain about. I think this was an incredibly well done reveal. I think they really did take their time with this show. I think they did a really great job of diving more into Andy's complex relationship with her sister, who's now her mother. There are just so many angles they can take this, and I can't wait to see really where they're going to go with that. I absolutely love this first episode. I am going to give Andi Mack Season 1, Episode 1, 13, a 4.5 out of 5, or an A-. But overall, guys, remember the serious mirror of Andi Mack. Let me know what you guys saw this first episode. Overall, if you guys haven't seen the first episode, watch it right now. I mean, there's really no point in watching it now because I spoiled the entire thing for you. But if you haven't seen it, check it out. It really is Disney Channel's game-changing show. It's the show, I think, that really is going to put them back on the map. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys saw this first episode. I was obviously very shocked by the twist. I can't wait to see where they're going to go with this twist from here. And I really do hope this show does continue to tackle the subject at all angles like it seems like it's going to in this first episode. I have not seen the second episode yet. I will check it out pretty soon. But like I said, I'm not going to review every episode. If the show continues to have the serialized format, maybe I will for Season 2. But for Season 1, I'm just going to review the season and then see where it goes from there. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for Legends tomorrow, and I will see you guys for that. So, okay, bye.